one of the main things that we do are peer mentor-led workshops, where we do several things. You can start with an icebreaker and then go on to a student panel. Sometimes we have guest speakers come and talk about things like financial aid, summer research experience, all these different options that students have that some of them maybe never even realized that they've had before.
What I do is I take my past experiences and try to contribute to those who haven't really experienced this, and I help them transition from a community college to a four-year university. So basically, all the mistakes I've done, I try to incorporate that into what I tell my students, and also I act as a like a resource and kind of like a big brother kind of role for them. And
whenever my students have a one-on-one with me, I encourage them to apply for it. It's a wonderful program. It's a wonderful opportunity for them to get some research done, get some hands-on on whatever they want to do. So I just encourage them, remind them that what they have to do, and remind them of the dates. And then even people within at Costa Fullerton, I tell them oh hey, maybe you guys should do research. And
my role wasn't it wasn't as a peer advisor at that time. It was more as a background support for the event.
Here I was a peer advisor, and what that entailed was that I was given 4 students, and through those 4 students we had weekly sessions, and they were in various labs. And what I did was that I worked with students trying to get their concerns, because most of them, it was the first time for them to do research. So, and I had done research already, so I had an idea of the research process and how to kind of help them with their labs, and that was my main role in the SRE last year.
At Cal State Fullerton, we pretty much assist with the Transfer Resource Center, helping at the front desk, creating a more comfortable academic settings for them. We also help with orientation for the academic transition program, the 3 days orientations that they have at the beginning. And throughout the semester we meet with these students to check their academic performance and to help them with any type of resource that we can provide them with.
We've also been involved in a few events around Cal State Fullerton, like Destino Universidad, which was an event organized by the outreach program, and we pretty much try to help with any activities or any events that might be going on around Cal State Fullerton.
I also decorate the hallway boards, try to get people excited with STEM, with different things like funny jokes, post up pictures so that they know who the faculty are and where they can find us. Just try to create a buzz so that people will want to come in and find out more about what we are.
The least enjoyable thing for me as a peer mentor is probably when I have a student who is clearly not very interested or aware of how much benefit he can obtain from all of the programs and opportunities available to them right now, which they might later regret it,
Would be turning students away. There are certain students while I was tabling, they were always business major, kinesiology, or nursing. And I usually am a people pleaser, so I don't like to turn people away. I still like to help them, oh, maybe you should go check out your department in your major.
Is just finding that balance between my work life and my school life. Like any job is when you're in school, this biggest struggle is always, no matter what job it is, to find that balance between school and work. And
share your stories with other people, because sometimes there's things that I don't go around telling people easily. So when I'm at the community colleges or where I'm doing workshops, most of the questions are based on your own experiences. So it's kind of hard to let them know, because there's times when you can hold your emotions and stuff like that. So just willing to deal with yourself pretty much is the most part, because this job has a lot to do with yourself.
One of the most challenging things as a peer mentor is being able to adapt to different students, because everyone's pretty diverse. And since I deal with students one-on-one, you have to be careful about what you say and how you deal with each one of them, because you don't want to scare them away and you want them to come back to you.
I don't do really well with the public speaking. Also just trying to learn different aspects of communication, like, you know, listening and trying to be an effective listener, you know, to get like what the students is really saying, or what the student really wants from whatever they're saying.
Following up is one of my hardest things, because I'll tell them this and I'll tell them that, and then I feel like I'm having so many other things that I'll like forget about one thing, and that's one thing I'm still learning, to write it down and like follow up, and then make sure that I'm constantly, you know, talking to the mentees.
Coordinator, she's very supportive about, you know, our exam schedules and you know, the success that we have in our classes. So she's very considerate when we have, you know, exams coming up. She's very concerned when there's finals are coming up. So she always takes into account, you know, not just our class schedule, but also, you know, our exam schedule, which is really important, because sometimes things come up in the school year that require a little bit more time than just going to class. Obviously, we have other obligations like assignments, projects, exams, etc. So she's very flexible and accommodating, and it's awesome to have a boss like that.
They give us trainings about, you know, how to deal with students, how to deal with certain type of people, because we're dealing with everybody and everything and everyone, and it's definitely a challenge when you don't know how to interact with everybody. And I feel like I've been trained to do what I need to do, and maybe even more things that.
Enjoy the social aspect of it, and just the fact that you're like making a difference, and because of that you kind of are a role model, and I never thought I would be one.
I like the aha moments that students get when they're like, okay, that's what I need to do. Like
the fact that we're giving back, you know, that you're helping somebody get started on their career in science, which is really important. There's not enough scientists in the United States. Like
through this job, I've met like different people from different backgrounds, and I've been able to communicate with them well. And it's a good asset for me to use when I finally get into my career and get
sharing my own experience with them. I say it's the most enjoyable experience I've had so far.
Also the flexibility to be as creative as we can be. You know, this grant, we just we built this grant together. So when we all started, you know, there wasn't really much structure to the program. We all built it together, and I thought that was probably the best part of this job, even from our logos to how we conduct workshops at the community colleges to how we facilitate just the one-on-one sessions. This job is really awesome.
They need help or a question or just want to vent. So here you go. Fading on a girl with a hunger for fame and a face and a name.